go to the theorem. If the acute angles of a right angle triangle have measures 30 degree and 60 degree, then the length of the side opposite to 30 degree angle is half the length of the hypotenuse. Now, as I read the statement, you must have understood clearly we are talking about a right angled triangle here, where the acute angles, you see here we have a triangle ABC and the right angle is at angle B. The other two angles obviously will be acute angles. So angle A is an acute angle measuring 60 degrees. Angle C is an acute angle measuring 30 degrees. So what have they said? If the acute angles of a right angle triangle have measures 30 degree and 60 degree, then the length of the side opposite to 30 degrees angle is half the length of the hypotenuse. The length of the side opposite to 30 degrees angle. 30 degrees is at C. The side opposite to 30 degrees is AB. So they are talking about side AB. What have they said about side AB? It will be half the length of the hypotenuse. Now the hypotenuse is the side opposite to the right angle, that is the side AC is the hypotenuse. So the length of the side opposite to 30 degrees angle is half the length of the hypotenuse, means that we have to prove that AB is equal to half of AC. Now what is given in this triangle? There is a triangle ABC. It is a right angle triangle, right angled at B. So we have here angle B is 90 degrees. Also the other two angles were 30 degrees and 60 degrees. So angle C is taken as 30 degree, angle A as 60 degree. What had we to prove? The angle which, the side which is opposite to the angle 30 degrees, that is the length of AB, is half the length of the hypotenuse, that is AC. So to prove AB is equal to half AC. Now to prove this, just with this triangle, it is not possible. We have to do certain construction. So we draw the figure again. You see this triangle ABC is as given here. Now what is the extra construction done here? Let us see what is written here. Construction: take a point D on extended segment AB. That is, there is AB here and this AB is extended further on extended segment AB such that AB equal to BD. So this segment AB is extended to a point D such that AB equal to BD. That is what is given. I put these lines to show that AB is equal to BD. Now once we extend this, we have only this line and it has reached the point D. Now from D we have to join the segment to C. So join segment DC. Now looking at this figure, we will prove what has been asked. So now we consider the two triangles which are formed by this construction. Which are the two triangles? Triangle ABC and triangle DBC. So you see here, in triangle ABC and triangle DBC, we have a pair of segments which are congruent, and that was by construction. So we know that segment AB is congruent to segment BD by construction, because this segment BD was constructed. That's why it is a dotted line. So I write here segment AB congruent to segment BD, that is by construction. Also we have one pair of angles which are congruent. Now this pair of angles will be congruent, that is angle ABC and angle DBC will form a pair of congruent angles. So I write here angle ABC congruent to angle DBC. Now how do they form congruent angles? Angle ABC was already given as 90 degree. Now we have extended this line. Okay. When we extend this line, what happens? Angle ABC and angle DBC, they will form a linear pair. Linear pair means the sum of the measures of the angles is 180 degrees. So if angle ABC is 90 degrees, then angle DBC will be 180 degree minus 90 degree, that is 90 degree. Therefore angle ABC congruent to angle DBC. So what is the reason? Because angle ABC and angle DBC form a linear pair. Then there is one more pair of segments which forms a common side of both these triangles. So it is very clear to us that this segment BC is common to both these triangles ABC and triangle DBC. So I write segment BC congruent to segment BC, the reason common side. So now we have one pair of sides which are congruent, one pair of angles, I can mark this, that are congruent, and also this side. So side, angle and side. Therefore the two triangles, triangle ABC and triangle DBC, are congruent to each other by the SAS test. Once that is done, now we look back at the figure. We have here angle BAC. Now we have to look at the other triangle which we said is congruent and see which is the corresponding angle to that. Here we said angle BAC. So in this triangle, which will be the corresponding angle? Angle BDC. So I write here angle BAC congruent to angle BDC. What will be the reason? Once the two triangles are congruent by some test, angle BAC congruent to angle BDC by CACT, which is corresponding angles of congruent triangles. Now, in this triangle, bigger triangle, you see here in triangle ABC, we have here already angle BAC which is 60 degrees. And because angle BAC is 60 degrees, what happens? Angle BDC also will be 60 degrees. Right? Angle BDC, look at the figure. We said angle BAC is 60 degrees. Therefore, angle BDC also will be 60 degrees. Why is that? Because we already said angle BAC congruent to angle BDC. So, if angle BAC is 60 degrees, angle BDC also will be 60 degrees. Now, let us look at this angle, that is angle ACD. Now, this angle ACD is formed by two angles, that is angle ACB plus angle BCD. Okay. Now look here, in triangle ABC we already said that angle BDC is 90 degrees. Now look at angle ACB. Angle ACB, which is the corresponding angle for it in this triangle? It is nothing but angle BCD. Therefore, here we say angle ACB is congruent to angle DCB. Now how are they congruent to each other? Just like this pair of angles are congruent to each other by CACT, angle ACB also congruent to angle DCB by CACT. Now what is the measure of angle ACB? 30 degrees. So obviously angle DCB also will be measuring 30 degrees. Now as I told you, we said that this big angle ACD is formed of angle ACB plus angle BCD, and just now we have said that angle DCB is 30 degree. So I write here 30 degree. Therefore, if I want to find the measure of angle ACD, it will be angle ACB plus angle BCD, which is 30 degree plus 30 degree. So I write here angle ACD is equal to angle ACB plus angle DCB. Get the figure. Angle ACD is equal to angle ACB plus angle DCB, that is 30 degree plus 30 degrees. So here I write is equal to 30 degree plus 30 degree is equal to 60 degree. Now we look at the whole triangle A. Here ADC, we take the whole triangle ADC. ABC was the smaller triangle. So now we take the bigger triangle ADC. So we write here, let us take in triangle ADC. What happens in triangle ADC? We have here angle DAC is 60 degrees. So I write here angle DAC. Also I see angle ADC is 60 degrees. So I write here angle ADC. Also just now we said angle ACD is 30 degree plus 30 degree, which is 60 degree. That was this angle. So angle ACD also is 60 degree. So I write here is equal to angle ACD. So in triangle ADC, angle DAC equal to angle ADC equal to angle ACD, which is 60 degree. Therefore, if all the angles are equal to each other, it means that such a triangle is an equilateral triangle. And in an equilateral triangle, we know that all the sides are equal. So let us name the sides here. The sides are AD, AC and DC. So we'll write therefore AD equal to DC is equal to AC. Now look at the figure. We said that when we did the construction, we extended the segment AB to the point D such that AB is equal to BD. That means AB and BD are equal segments. So if I say segment AB, how much part of it is of AD? It is half of AD. Therefore, segment AB equal to half of AD. So I can write here segment AB is equal to half AD. So segment AB equal to half AD. But if you remember, we had to prove that segment AB is half of AC. Now look here at what we said is equal. AD equal to DC equal to AC. So instead of writing AB equal to half AD, in place of AD I can write AC. So AB equal to half of AC. So why is this written AB equal to half of AC? Because AD is equal to AC. So the reason here, because AD is equal to AC.